I thought moving to a quiet cul-de-sac in suburban Austin would be a fresh start, a chance to rebuild after a grueling year. My name's Caleb Reed, a 38-year-old graphic designer who just clawed his way out of a financial mess left by a failed business venture. The small, two-story house I'd bought wasn't much, but it sat on a half-acre lot with a lush backyard, perfect for my 10-year-old son, Noah, to play in. My plan was simple: set up a home office, plant a garden, and give Noah a stable place to grow up. But when I started digging in my backyard to install a modest vegetable patch, I unearthed a secret that turned my quiet neighborhood into a battleground. The HOA, led by a cunning woman named Eleanor Vance, descended on me with accusations that threatened to strip away my home. What I uncovered wasn't just a petty dispute, it was a conspiracy that could have destroyed my family. And the only way out was a dangerous gamble that hinged on a child's intuition and a hidden truth. It all began on a sunny April afternoon. I was knee-deep in soil, turning over earth for my garden, when I heard the screech of tires on my street. Eleanor Vance, the HOA president, stormed across my lawn with the intensity of a prosecutor closing in on a guilty verdict. She was in her late 40s, with sharp features and a voice that could cut glass. Trailing her were two others, a wiry man named Gregory Tate, clutching a tablet like it held the neighborhood's secrets, and a woman snapping photos of my yard without a word. "Mr. Reed," Eleanor snapped. "I'm Eleanor Vance, president of the Willow Creek HOA. This unauthorized digging is a violation of our covenants. You're disrupting the neighborhood's aesthetic and potentially damaging community infrastructure." I was stunned. It was just a garden, barely 10 feet square. When I asked what infrastructure she meant, she dodged, muttering about underground utilities and shared green spaces. Gregory chimed in, his tone oily, urging me to comply before things escalate. Noah, watching from the porch, was scribbling in his sketchbook, a habit he'd picked up to cope with our tough year. I thought he was just drawing superheroes again. I was wrong. That evening, Eleanor's crew left with a warning to stop digging or face fines. Uneasy, I rummaged through the closing documents for my house. Tucked in a folder, I found a handwritten note from the previous owner, an elderly woman named Clara who'd passed away. "Caleb, if the HOA gives you trouble, check the attic. I left something for you." Clara's note sent a chill down my spine. In the attic, behind a stack of dusty boxes, I found a locked metal box with a note taped to it, for the new owner. Key and garden shed. Inside the box were property surveys from 1992, showing my lot extended 20 feet beyond what the HOA claimed, and a cryptic letter warning about neighbors who covet what isn't theirs. The shed held no key, though. Someone had picked the lock and left it ajar. My gut told me this wasn't an accident. The next morning, I woke to find my backyard tampered with. The soil I'd dug was smoothed over, and a small marker I'd placed was gone. Nothing else was touched, just the garden area. Alarmed, I called a surveyor to verify my property lines. While waiting, Noah showed me his sketchbook. "Dad, I drew the people who came yesterday," he said. His drawing was eerily detailed: Eleanor's sharp suit, Gregory's tablet, and a car parked across the street at dawn, its license plate carefully noted. Noah had written, "Man in car was watching before you woke up." My 10-year-old was documenting something I'd missed. The surveyor confirmed Clara's documents were legitimate. Lot included the disputed backyard area. But that afternoon, a legal notice from Eleanor arrived, accusing me of encroaching on community land and demanding I cease all landscaping or face a $10,000 fine. Buried in the jargon was a reference to historical easements that felt suspiciously specific. I dug into Eleanor's background online and found a disturbing pattern. She'd been a corporate attorney specializing in land acquisitions before retiring to lead the HOA. A buried news article mentioned a lawsuit against her for coercing a homeowner into selling at a loss. The case was dropped, but the timing matched her move to Willow Creek. Determined to protect my home, I staked out my backyard at dawn with a camera. Around 6 a.m., Gregory appeared, sneaking through a hedge with a metal detector, scanning the exact spot I'd been digging. He was methodical, marking spots and taking photos. Later, a black SUV pulled up, and a man in a tailored suit handed Gregory an envelope. It looked like a payoff. I snapped photos, my heart racing. That evening, I found a hidden panel in my garden shed, missed during the break-in. Inside was Clara's key and a USB drive labeled Willow Creek Truth. The drive held audio files of Eleanor pressuring Clara to sell her land, claiming the HOA had plans for development. Clara's voice was firm. "I know what you're doing, Eleanor. I've recorded everything." There were also photos of Gregory meeting shady figures in my backyard, time-stamped years before I moved in. Then my phone buzzed with a text, a photo of Noah riding his bike, captioned, "Careful, Mr. Reed. Accidents happen to curious kids." Rage and fear surged through me. This wasn't about a garden, it was personal. I contacted Detective Sarah Coleman, who'd been investigating local land fraud. Over coffee, she revealed Clara had tipped off the police about Eleanor's schemes before her death. "Eleanor's been flipping properties for a syndicate," Sarah said. "Your backyard is sitting on a gas pipeline easement they want to exploit." Gregory was her enforcer, forging documents to claim land for community use, while funneling profits to criminal investors. Sarah proposed a sting at the next HOA meeting, where Eleanor planned to push through a land reallocation vote. I'd wear a wire, but the risk was real, especially with Noah in their crosshairs. Then Eleanor showed up at my door, pale and trembling. "Caleb, I'm trapped," she whispered, handing me a folder. "Gregory's blackmailing me. He's got proof I fudged HOA records." She admitted to pressuring Clara but claimed Gregory forced her to escalate, using her signature on fake easements. The folder held bank records showing deposits in her name, money she swore she never touched. "He's planning something big at the meeting," she said. "And he's talking about silencing you permanently." Her desperation was convincing, but I didn't trust her. Sarah agreed to protect Eleanor if she cooperated, but warned she'd face charges. The HOA meeting was a powder keg. Neighbors packed the community center, unaware of the drama unfolding. Eleanor, wired up, opened shakily. "We're here to discuss Caleb Reed's land violation." Before she could continue, Noah burst in, holding his sketchbook. "Dad, I drew everything to help," he declared, flipping to a page showing Gregory's dawn meetings, complete with license plates and cash exchanges. "This guy's been sneaking into our yard," Noah said, pointing at Gregory. "He meets people who pay him, but they don't live here." The room went silent as Noah's innocent sketches exposed a criminal web. Gregory snapped, leaping up. "You think a kid's drawings can ruin me? I've been running this for years." His outburst was a confession. Eleanor, seizing the moment, said, "Gregory, I'm done lying for you." Sarah's team stormed in, arresting Gregory for fraud, extortion, and racketeering. The fallout was swift. Gregory faced federal charges for a $3 million land scam. Eleanor pleaded guilty to lesser charges, earning probation and community service. The HOA was reformed, with Mike Russo, my neighbor, taking over to restore trust. My property was secured, and Clara's USB drive became key evidence. Among her files was a letter. "Caleb, protect Noah by standing firm. Truth is your shield." Noah kept sketching, now capturing neighbors planting gardens together. Eleanor, humbled, faded into the background. My backyard became our sanctuary again, proof that even a child's pencil can dismantle a conspiracy. If you've ever faced bullies hiding behind authority, this proves that courage and a sharp eye can turn the to bless no matter how small the hand holding the truth.